أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Respected community members and Al-Hadi family, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to episode 2 of Beyond the Broadcast, dubbed Swimming Through the Tide. We're joined here today with someone we all look up to, go to advice for, or somebody just go to hang out with. Because not just me, but so many of us at Al-Hadi love his presence, and we view him more than just a teacher, but as an older brother. We're joined with Al-Hadi's boys and swimming coach, Brother Mazhar. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for joining us.
Wa alaikum assalam, Mehdi. Thank you for having me, guys.
You know, Brother Mazhar, when we were planning this podcast initially, one of the first guests we had in mind was you. So it's such an honor and having you here today.
The pleasure and the honor is all mine, bro. Thank you.
So, Brother Mazhar, for the Al-Hadi family, let's learn more about you. Why did you join Al-Hadi in the first place?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, it is an honor to be working in Al-Hadi, to be part of the community. And I must say that the Al-Hadi family, the parents, the students, and the teachers are very welcoming, mashallah. So I'm honored. And initially, I've always been a entrepreneur. I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset, and I was always in the service industry before I became a coach. And so, in my opinion, the service that I was providing was not as rewarding as I wanted it to be in terms of the growth of my soul, my mind, and my body as a holistic approach. Yeah. And as a coach, I advocate for having a holistic approach, so I thought it's best if I adapted too. Yeah. And so I wanted to fill my mornings up and my evenings up with just coaching time. And so my evenings go to swimming coaching. And so, alhamdulillah, when the opportunity arose, I came in and I got the job at Al-Hadi, and they were generous enough to let me come. Alhamdulillah.
That's really great. I know it's a blessing having you here, Brother Mazhar. I remember the first day you came, I remember Coach Saif was there, Brother was there, and then you came in. It was like, oh, you look a lot like Brother Mohsin. So it was like, and then we had a great PE class today, alhamdulillah, you know, and it's been a blessing these past few years we've been with you. Moving on, Brother Mazhar, why did you get into swimming? As you all know, I think a lot of the Al-Hadi family actually knows you're a professional swimmer and you're a swimming coach. So why did you get into swimming, and what led to you becoming an Olympic swimmer?
Alhamdulillah, my swimming career was predominantly because of my parents. Okay. My mom and my dad would always take us to Karachi Club, which was the club that we would go to in Pakistan, Karachi. And that's where I had the pleasure of being surrounded with some of the best swimmers of the country at the time. So I grew up in an environment where competitive swimming was just part of who we were, what we were doing. My elder brother, you just mentioned, Brother Mohsin Naqvi, he's my older brother, alhamdulillah. And he was a swimmer himself. He swam to like state level, provincial level in Pakistan. And growing up in that environment, having friends in that environment, it was organic for us to go into competitive swimming. Now, it was due to my competitors that I became a better swimmer, alhamdulillah. Okay. But for the most part, the environment that I grew up in, I was blessed with that environment, and that's what really got me into competitive swimming.
Oh, cool, nice. So, Brother Mazhar, on the whole process of becoming a professional swimmer and becoming the best swimmer that you had, and even outside of swimming throughout your life, did you ever have a mentor or a teacher close to you that helped you grow in life? And along with this, did they ever teach you one valuable lesson that you hold on till today?
Man, if I started counting the number of mentors and teachers I've had, this podcast will end with just the names. Promise. There've been so many swimming, and then aside from swimming, in my school, I used to be part of a varsity futsal team, and my mentors are too many to count in one finger. But there's one very specific one, Sir Zamir. Sir Zamir is a professional coach in Pakistan right now. He coaches some of the best swimmers in Pakistan right now, alhamdulillah. And some of his students actually broke the national record a few days ago, not too long ago. So he's been my biggest mentor, the person who really gave me a mindset that I can enjoy this and I can improve my ikhlaq through swimming. He was the person that did that for me, alhamdulillah. His own ikhlaq reflected in his actions, and that's what allowed me to become the person I am today. Having coaches like Sir Zamir, having him around me, showing me how to conduct myself as a coach, and also how to feed my family off of it. Alhamdulillah.
So, is there one lesson that he taught you that you still hold on to today?
Only people that are Urdu speaking people will understand this specific one. But every time we would work out a lot, I would say, "Sir, mujhe ulti aa rahi hai," and he's like, "Seedhi kar lo." Oh God! But what he was really trying to say is, go beyond your limits, push yourself past your limits, and get out of your comfort zone. Because I tend to be in my comfort zone, and he was the one that pushed me out of it. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. You know, Brother Mazhar, on that topic of a mentor, for myself and a lot of the Al-Hadi students, you are a mentor to us. And Alhamdulillah, I've seen change in myself and even change in Al-Hadi students being around you. So it's a blessing having you here at Al-Hadi, Alhamdulillah. So maybe on sports and swimming, Brother Mazhar, what's your favorite sport? And if it's swimming, what's after that?
You'd be surprised, swimming is not my favorite sport.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, because I grew up being very bad at sports. I was the worst one in my class.
Oh, that's
even in my 14-year swimming career, the first 7 years was me failing miserably, being the last one. And then, like I said, because of my competitors, I got the drive to work harder. And the last 7 years were, alhamdulillah, way better for me. So from 07 to 2014 is the highlight of my career. Prior to that was a struggling period. I was not motivated. I would be like, I hope that my competitors didn't even make it to the competition. I would be doing dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, telling my mom that, Mom, I hope that he doesn't come. Mom is like, okay, it's fine, you'll do it. Just do your best, alhamdulillah. So not swimming, but it is badminton.
Oh, badminton.
Right. All my time that I was not swimming, I would be in the badminton court playing badminton. And the people that hang out with me outside of the building, I say it often, that if I wasn't a professional swimmer, I would have ended up being a professional badminton player.
Oh, cool. Interesting.
Yeah, still play badminton.
Maybe we start badminton team at Al-Hadi. Just a thought. Maybe
Why not?
Okay. Brother Mazhar, to wrap up this part of our podcast, as many of you at the Al-Hadi, as in the Al-Hadi family know, Brother Mazhar is a very talented reciter, mashallah. And Lady Zahra, salamullah alayha, shahada is coming up. In honor of her, could you recite a short salam for us, please?
Absolutely. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. हर दुरूद और हर सलाम मादरे हुसैन तेरे नाम हर दुरूद और हर सलाम मादरे हुसैन तेरे नाम ज़ौजाए अली सरबलंद फातिमा अज़ीम अर्जुमन जिसके आस्तान पाक के कुदसियान अर्श हैं गुलाम हर दुरूद और हर सलाम मादरे हुसैन तेरे नाम
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Thank you very much. Inshallah, we'll be right back after this quick ad.
Assalamu alaikum. Please sign up for our school's Project 10K to help us address some of our budget downfalls. We are only 30% of the way for our goal. Please remember to share the links below to your families and friends so they can also join the initiative with the automatic monthly deductions. You can change the quantity to have higher amounts automatically deducted on a monthly basis.
Welcome back, everybody, from our short ad break. We are joined here with Al-Hadi boys PE and swimming coach Brother Mazhar. Previously, we talked about Brother Mazhar's career and his life, but now we're going to move on to some advice for some of the youth, especially the athletes at Al-Hadi. Brother Mazhar, as advice to myself and to all the Al-Hadi students, what are some practical steps that we can take at this age to be more than athletes, but to become Muslim athletes?
SubhanAllah, that's a beautiful question. And even though as an athlete, I didn't get much training in how to be a Muslim athlete, but they were both going simultaneously in my life, where Maulana would come at our home, or we would go to a madrasa to learn about the Quran and about Islamic values and Shia values in our community. And right after Quran class, we would go to swimming class, alhamdulillah. So they would end up coming together at some point, but it wasn't a priority. I would say, alhamdulillah, this community has given me that, where I should try to incorporate both together in my teaching, and it's again a blessing to be part of Al-Hadi. The biggest part that I remember as being an athlete was the amount of pressure I had on me, because swimming was an individual sport, is an individual sport. And it being an individual sport, when you're standing at the starting block about to dive in, all your practices, your parents' hard work, those drives back and from swimming practice, your coach's expectations, your teammates' expectations, they would just shower on me while I'm waiting for the starting block. Somehow that waiting time would feel like hours, even though it was 5 minutes. And in that, I had nothing but Ayatul Kursi in my mind. That's all I would recite in my brain. And it was such a long, as a matter of fact, back then when I was thinking about it, because it was the longest surah that I knew, I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to go with Ayatul Kursi, because this time is going to kill me, man. I don't know what else to do. And then you have athletes next to you trying to intimidate you. That was a big part of my career, where athletes next to me would try to intimidate me before the competition. The stuff that they would do was intense. But having a relationship with the Quran, thanks to my parents that they gave me that education, alhamdulillah, and thanks to my teachers, my Islamic teachers, who gave me that, Sir Shabir in specific. Just wanted to shout out St. Michael's Convent School, Sir Shabir. If any Michael's guys are watching this, Sir Shabir, we all know who Sir Shabir is. But Ayatul Kursi, man. And today, when I think about it, it's about having a relationship with the Quran. Ayatul Kursi was it for me, and the more I think about it, the more I get to learn about Ayatul Kursi today, my past makes more sense in the present now. So even though a lot of the guys, they're not as involved in Islam or inside the Quranic teachings as they would be, just reciting the Quran, has a big impact on you till the time you're put in your grave. At the end of the day, we are preparing for Yawm al-Qiyamah. We're planning for the Day of Judgment. We're preparing for the Day of Judgment. And in that preparation, we need to equip and arm ourselves with the tools that are provided to us as a Muslim. And as a Muslim, we already know that it's the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt. Those are the two key elements for you to go closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I've always felt very close to Imam Hussein, well, partially because my actual name is Mazhar Hussein. So it's Sayyid Mazhar Hussein Naqvi. So Mazhar Hussein, my uncle would always call me Mazhar Hussein. So I was like, oh, Mazhar Hussein. It resonates more with me today, now that I'm at Al-Hadi, in comparison to when I was growing up, because growing up it was just Mazhar. And now I feel like I want people to start calling me Mazhar Hussein, because of the relationship that I've developed over time with Imam Hussein. Alhamdulillah. So, having a good relationship with the Quran, having a good relationship with the Ahlul Bayt, it goes a long way. And like I was mentioning earlier, the pressure of life, who doesn't feel it? I don't know a single person who does not have pressure in their life.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I
that.
believe that there is not a single human being on this planet who does not have their own problems. You know, everybody has their own problems.
Yeah.
You might have your own problems. I might have my own problems. My problems are the biggest problems on the planet to me, and yours might be to you. Whoever's watching in the audience,
Yeah.
their problems will be the biggest to them. And so, Alhamdulillah, this is where the holistic approach
Yeah.
that I tend to take comes in, where having a relationship with the Quran, with the Ahlul Bayt, and then sports.
Yeah.
You know, it's a stress reliever. It's therapy.
Yeah.
You know, your mind should not always go into competition. It should be competitive, but it should be more about how can I become a better person? How can I grow?
Exactly, yeah.
You know, how can I be a better person than I was yesterday, or a minute ago, or 2 minutes ago? There's always that opportunity of growth. While sitting over here having this conversation, I feel like I'm growing just by having this conversation.
Same
with you
here,
guys.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So, my advice to everyone is to have a holistic approach, mayana ravi, balance, moderation, you know, and try to do all the things that are necessary for you to be able to grow as a human being. And just recently, I was listening to a majlis, what a beautiful majlis it was, where they said that when Hazrat Adam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He introduced the idea of Hazrat Adam to the angels, the first thing that they talked about was fitna. And how having a human being that will only wreak havoc in this world, why would He do that? Right? And the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded with was, I know of things that you do not know of. And then He asked Hazrat Adam to demonstrate. And when He asked Hazrat Adam, how were you able to demonstrate that? Hazrat Adam conceded that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me that knowledge. So knowledge is key at the end of the day. And so part of the advice that I want to give to everybody is equip yourself with knowledge that will help you become a better Muslim. Have better ikhlaq, not just knowledge that will help you make more money, not just knowledge that will help you become a better competitor, but a better human being in this world, because that's what we are meant for. We are the same as animals otherwise. You know, like in the majalis, they give a very good example that there are people in this world today that would leave their property in the name of their dogs. You know, there are people. We are living in the United States of America. We know how there's an obsession with pets over here, and I'm not opposed to having pets. I've had pets in my life as well, alhamdulillah. But it's about that dog that was left with a property, and then let's say my father, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him a long life. If he passes away and he leaves me some property, now I have a piece of property in my life, and that dog was left a piece of property in his life. What's the real difference between us? It's our ruh, it's our soul, it's the growth of our soul that really helps us become a better human being, and a human being that once we're put in our grave, we can strive for Jannah. We can expect Jannah, and honestly never stop striving for Jannah. The day you stop and you're like, you know what? It's over. I'm going to Jannah for sure. That might be the day you start making your way to hell. Maybe.
Reality check.
Reality check, 100%. So till the day we're put in our grave, we will have to strive for being a better person and growth, and just being better than who we were.
Yeah. What I'm getting from Mazhar is that when we're Muslim athletes, we should prioritize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and recognize that we're more than this physical body, but we're that soul, and the way that we can achieve our growth in this world, and especially for the next world, to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to achieve Jannah, is through the Quran and through the Ahlul Bayt. And inshallah we can all, through your advice, follow this and become proper Muslim athletes, inshallah.
Thank you for summarizing that.
And that's, I'm just like my reflections on this.
That,
so but the Mazhar, on advice, what is some practical advice that for all ages, but mainly for the youth especially, how can we stay fit and active on a day-to-day basis? What are the tiny things that we can do?
SubhanAllah. So let's put it at 100%. You know, you as a human being are at 100%, and I'm just speaking in terms of your workout at the moment, how to be a healthier human being in general. Out of 100%,
yeah.
25% is just your workout.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Okay.
only 25% that goes
Yeah.
into your workout. So if you guys are working out 6 days a week, for example, that only encompasses 25% of your total regimen. The other 25%, it goes into your recovery time, where the number of days that you're managing in your workout, the type of sleep that you get,
Yeah.
that's the other 25. And that makes it a 50%. The remaining 50% is nutrition.
Oh, wow.
The food that you consume. And my boys hear me, the boys have heard me say this often, that
Yeah.
you are what you consume. Not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
in terms of knowledge, but also in terms of food. You are literally what you consume. And so, be better at consuming good nutrition, organic
Yeah.
nutrition. I've had my cheat days, guys. I have my cheat days. Don't worry. I'm not saying that you should be perfect, but what we need to establish at the end of the
Yeah.
day is better habits, because this is something that I've also talked about with the boys whenever I get a chance, because
Yeah.
nowadays we see a lot of people smoking cigarettes, or we see them vaping a lot.
Yeah.
And the worst part is when you vape after you eat food. Now your food is being digested and you're vaping, so what your stomach does is it adapts to your habits. Whatever
interesting. Okay,
habit
yeah.
you have, your stomach is going to adapt to that. And having that adaptation process in your stomach, what it does is now it's getting immune to it. Next time you have your food and your body is immune to you vaping, you're going to start feeling nauseous, you're going to start feeling aggravated, you're going to be tense. And you're never born with those habits. Well, Sir Zamir, my coach, you're not born with those habits, is what he would say often. So we can always change those habits. However, it's if you already have the good habits, then you can focus on leveling up on who you are as a human being. So like going back to the advice that I was giving, that you should always try to grow. The reality is there's levels to this.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
No matter what you do in this world, there's levels to it.
Yeah.
Right? And so whenever you're here, there's always another ladder that you can climb to go higher at your level.
yeah, okay.
You can be a good muttaqi, muttaqi in this world.
So that's really practical. So what I'm taking from this is that what we need to prioritize is our diet, especially because I feel like personally at my age, we're exposed to a lot of junk food. There's junk food options everywhere. So I guess it's us, we need to be more conscious about it, and also is how we balance our recovery time. Because I didn't know recovery time had that much importance compared to like their workout timing. So I guess good thing I learned something new today as well. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So, but then Mazhar, now what we're gonna do is a little Q&A type stuff. I have some cards. This is the fun part of our podcast. Of course, the other parts were fun, but this is gonna be extra fun.
Inshallah.
So let's get started.
Deep breathe.
What is one movie or book that inspires you? That really inspires you?
Man, this is a dark conversation at the moment. Well, you know what? First and foremost, the ultimate book is the Holy Quran.
Subhanallah.
The ultimate
Yes,
book
definitely.
is the Holy Quran. That is the most inspirational book. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu waliyul lazina amanu. Allah is the wali of the moment. First, we have to consider ourselves a moment,
Yeah.
or at least strive to be a moment.
Yeah.
Allahu waliyul lazina amanu yukhrijuhum minaz zulimati ilan nur. And so you're going from darkness to light.
Right, yeah.
Right? I can keep talking about that. If you read the Quran and you do understand the contents of the
Yeah.
Quran, it is the most inspirational book. It's like an
Definitely,
epiphany.
yeah.
Many a times I get goosebumps just by reading the Quran, man.
Same,
So like
yeah.
the Holy Quran is it for sure. I'm not gonna go in the dark book that I had in mind.
Okay, so would you rather travel into the past or the future, and why?
I've visualized going back to the time of the Holy Prophet.
Oh, cool,
And
cool.
like daydreaming at times that, man,
Uh-huh.
what if I'm just walking past and I see a group of people sitting down, and the way they approach the Holy Prophet and how we think of him today, I feel like I just want to do the comparison of how
Yeah.
we perceive who he is today and how the people that were there,
Interesting. Yeah,
what
yeah.
the way they perceived it. I'm not a big reader, unfortunately, so I don't have much knowledge on things.
Okay, next question. Brother Mazhar, what do you think is the biggest struggle your generation faces? And this is more towards maybe the parents of the Al-Hadi family.
We got beat up a lot. that's the that we don't get to do the same to our kids. I think that's the biggest struggle. I'm sorry. That was my genuine answer, guys. Okay, another answer would be, it's connecting with our, I feel like this is a generation, this is a problem not just in our generation. This is a problem with all generations throughout time, that we need to adapt to the new generation and help our children grow in that generation, as opposed to what we learned growing up as kids ourselves. So I feel like this is going to be, this answer can be applied throughout history forever and ever and ever till Yawm al-Qiyamah, that each generation will struggle working with their future generation. And actually, a very wise man, I'm forgetting his name, he said this to me, that we struggle more because the children, the people today, like you guys, as a matter of fact, you're fast paced in comparison to our generation. Right?
Sure,
and the generations are getting more fast paced over time. So something that I would have to go look up in a book or in the library, you guys can just go look up online. And now that ChatGPT is there, you don't even have to perfect your craft. Hey, I'm using ChatGPT. I use AI myself. We don't have to perfect our craft at this point. You just need to have knowledge, and then how to present that knowledge you can get through tools like artificial intelligence. I feel like that's a struggle for me to kind of be like, you know what, I don't have to obsess myself with my craft. I can just do it to a certain extent, and then I can use the tools that are available for me to become a better version of who I am.
Oh, cool, interesting, So, Brother Mazhar, the answer that you gave to this question kind of reminds me about a hadith about Imam Ali, and he says that Imam Ali has some counsels. He says, do not force your own customs upon your children, for they are in other times than yours. So this custom doesn't refer to forcing your culture. It's not saying your culture. It means that each generation is for their different time. For example, the teaching method that my parents had wouldn't necessarily work for my generation, because as you mentioned, we're more fast-paced than, for example, the previous generation was. So I guess even through Amir Mu'mineen, as you mentioned earlier, Ahlul Bayt being our guides, they're guiding us even through this kind of topic as well, through the struggles of our day-to-day life.
It's funny you mentioned that, because being part of the community gives us that you don't really know where that information is coming from, but a lot of times you're getting the information from the Ahlul Bayt, and this is a great example of that. Thank you for sharing that.
So, Brother Mazhar, next question. What is the best part about school, and what's the worst part? Or not more than the worst part, what can the school improve on?
Man, that's a difficult question, because I feel like the main thing is we are trying to educate students not to be skilled workers. I feel like that's the culture that we need to get out of. There is growth there 100%, where teachers are building more of a relationship with the students, mentoring them, and not just teaching them. And the schools are already doing that, but there's a long way to go there. We want to ensure that once students graduate from a school, not just Al-Hadi School, they should be equipped to handle the societal pressures outside, the questions and the ideas that arise outside of your bubble. Your community can be sometimes a bubble for you. And when you step outside of that bubble, you need to be prepared to be exposed to those ideas.
What do you mean? What's the best part about Al-Hadi though?
The best part about Al-Hadi is, let me think, there's so many things, I'm like, which one should I pick right now? The students get to be themselves. Even though we are a Muslim school, right, and there's this stigma behind Muslim Islamic schools that, they're going to be strict on my child, and my child won't get to express himself or herself. I feel like Al-Hadi teachers and Al-Hadi admin staff, Brother Abdi being the leader of that, mashallah, they do an amazing job allowing the students to be themselves. Maulana Hussain Zaidi, Maulana Shan, Maulana Farhad, the Muttaqeen Me team entirely, all of them have done an amazing job creating a safe space for students to be themselves, but also to grow at the same time. Coach Saif is also a great example, because the basketball students, he's producing role models in there, mashallah. I feel like overall the school is doing a great job, and keep it up.
Nice. So what talent do you wish you had, and why?
I want to be multilingual.
Ooh, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Quiero aprender bastante español, pero hablo, quiero aprender más español. Hablo bastante, pero no hablo mucho. It's for my Hispanic speakers. So yeah, I want to be multilingual, inshallah.
Okay, nice. That's a cool goal. And one last question, Brother Mazhar. I got a few questions in my hand, but looking at the best one here, who would you consider to be your role model and why?
Man, it's Hazrat Abbas. You know who was there in Karbala, the brother of Imam Hussein. Because of the example that he has set for us, he was a warrior.
Yeah.
And as an athlete, I relate to warriors.
Yeah.
But he never took out his sword in Karbala, though.
Yeah, he did.
That's something that goes a long way with me, that we want to use the tools that are provided, that are in front of us, but sometimes we're just restricted, and we have to do what's best for the Muslim Ummah.
Yeah.
Imam Ali set that example for his sons, and I feel like Hazrat Abbas was following the example of his father when he did that, and a great role model for me. I get inspired by his story immensely.
Yeah. Same. I think as the boss, that character that he has and his shujat and his loyalty is just really something that inspires all of us.
Absolutely, 100%. Subhanallah.
So we're gonna have a quick ad break here, and then we'll see you guys for our final segment.
Bro, that game of basketball was actually crazy. Bro, I know. Bro, I dropped like so many points, bro. Oh, I'm tired now, bro. What do you mean? Bro, I feel a bit tired. Are you okay? Say we gotta get him some water. Get him some water. Come on. Come on, you need water. Come on, you need water. Water. Get it. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, bro. Al-Hadi water just saved my life. It's cold, it's filtered, it's everything you need.
Al-Hadi water. Get it now.
And for our last and final comment and / question, Brother Mazhar, is there anything you would like to say to all of Al-Hadi family and all of our community members as well?
Well, Al-Hadi has provided the tools and resources necessary for me to transfer this holistic approach that I have within the community. And I'm not alone. We call ourselves the Al-Hadi family. Sister Anjum and I, with the help of the Al-Hadi admin staff, specifically Sister Salman, Brother Abadi, we have started a swimming program known as the Al-Hadi swimming program. If you go online on the website, you go under athletics, and then you'll see AHS swimming program over there. I encourage everybody to join that. Doesn't matter the age. We can cater to age groups from 4 all the way to 60s, or beyond as a matter of fact. And the idea here is to encourage a healthy lifestyle, an active lifestyle, because you stimulate your body reacts, and then you get to grow in the process. This is all a very holistic approach, a wholesome approach that we've had, and the community, the bubble within the community only grows when we participate in such activities, because this is a humanistic thing, right? All human beings need what we're talking about here. And if people in our community join, people from outside of the community will be inclined to join us. And there you have it, we're doing tabligh, and we don't even realize it, so I encourage everybody to join that, and not just swimming. You should bring your students to Al-Hadi for the basketball program. We're trying to develop our soccer program. There are many extracurricular activities that we're doing, and you guys are doing a great job over here, guys. I really love this. This is very engaging to the community.
Thank you.
I love all the videos that you've done so far, Brother Abdi and Sister Qayamas. Thank you for this. This is one of those things that I'm talking about that Al-Hadi is doing a great job with, mashallah. Thank you.
Then shout out to the whole team, Sister Maki especially, for making this all happen, of course. And Brother Mazhar, from your end, any shout outs?
Too many shout outs.
Too many shout outs.
Too many. But no, shout out to Coach Seth. I think he's doing an amazing job. And he's been consistent. They started they started playing basketball in the garage of the IAC building, and now they're here going to other schools, and mashallah, they're doing an amazing job.
That's really great. Lions are actually, a bunch of home games are coming up, and Al-Hadi's varsity teams are actually playing in varsity 3A level now, which is like proper varsity level now. So
mashallah,
make sure you guys support your Lions. And also, just to wrap up a few more things, the link will be in the description down below for the Al-Hadi swim program, so you can just click the description, you'll see it there as well. And from my end personally, I have been part of Al-Hadi swim program, and I remember the benefit It helped me with, of course, my swimming. I relearned how to swim. It helped me with my stamina. And more than that, it helped me like physically and spiritually because I was waking up early in the morning and it was just so refreshing and so enjoyable being with Momineen, especially. I feel like that was such a great thing. But overall, Brother Mazhar, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
On our second episode of Beyond the Broadcast. It's been an honor with you. I've learned a lot about you, and all of that, I've benefited from you spiritually and also in knowledge that I can use throughout my life, and I think Al-Hadi family has as well. Brother Mazhar, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Jazakallah.
And handshake.
Oh, it's a Tawheed handshake, guys. Jazakallah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Hadi do this, not just me. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you.